Welcome back to Check the Pulse. Today, as usual, I'm grateful and honored to have the first on this podcast, a certified mental performance consultant. Wade, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I'm excited for it. Also, guys, that took me about 5 minutes to get right, but I got it, I think. I got it?
Yep.
Amazing. Alrighty. So let's tell them why I'm so excited to have you on. I'm going to toss you the mic, let you explain, your journey, your story, where you're at now, and then we'll get into really Mentor Magazine and what that's about.
Sounds good. So, yeah, I'm a certified mental performance consultant. It's a fairly new certification as our associations have merged together for, the practice and of mental performance. It's quite interesting and a great step for the field. But I guess how I got to this point with the magazine, it started a couple of years ago, but my whole life has been involved in sports in one way or another. My brother and I were fortunate enough to be able to experiment with lots of different sports when we were younger. Like I figure skated for a bit and did some dance in high school also played rugby, did wrestling. Like we did all kinds of stuff. Hockey was our the main sport of interest, and we took that as far as we could. Played some junior and a little bit of varsity, and a couple cups of coffee here and there. It was quite the experience while I was going to university. But yeah, sports has always been a central theme in our life, and all of the good things, and some of the not so good things that come with it. But at university, undergrad. I went to Laurentian, and it was the only school in the country at the time that offered an honors sports psychology degree at the time. I think it might still be. So that was a great experience. And then from there, I did the master's, and then worked in child and youth work for a bit.
Wow.
I did got my child and youth worker diploma and tried that for a bit, but that was very tough, and it wasn't a good fit. So I found a program at Waterloo, started my doc work, my PhD work there, and started teaching at the university level, and working with clients, building out my first business, my Wilson Mental Performance Consulting. It's kind of like what you'd call the traditional side hustle. The plan B, the moonlighting, but I've had some very interesting experiences through mental performance, and I've met a lot of very interesting people. I just had an interview with, got to sit down and talk with Dr. Cal Botterill earlier this week.
Wow.
Listen to his story and his impact on the field through perspective and gratitude, and really hammering home those foundational pieces. But I've been wanting to find a way to, I guess, make mental performance more accessible in a sense, demystify it a little bit, and be able to provide peer-reviewed, good literature, quality content that people can pick up and utilize right away. So that's kind of been the focus over the last couple of years, to build the Mentor Magazine community and get it up and efficient and sustainable. But I've always kind of been in helping professions, support roles throughout my career, my professional practice. So it's always just felt natural.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's an amazing timeline. You definitely, went through your own journey and obviously experienced your own experiences in sport when it came to the mental side. Just quickly, when you played hockey, what was your position?
I was a goalie. And, this was so competitive. Yeah, if anyone tries to look me up on hockey database, the numbers aren't good. But it's I was a goalie. And I guess in the late 90s, early 2000s was my competitive window. But it was tough. And during that time, there wasn't really too much on the mental side of sport. It was still very stigmatized, in that, if you had to seek support for, the mental performance and, the cognitive side of sport, then there was, you were kind of deemed there was something wrong.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of thing, right. So we're still slowly peeling that back and bringing it more like mainstream as part of a holistic training philosophy with your nutrition and all that. It's just as important as all of those other things. It all relates back to psychology.
For sure. And I feel like in any any position on any sports team or field, I think obviously you deal with some sort of mental pressure, but I do feel that as a goalie, there is a bit more pressure in the sense where, you feel like you have the weight on your shoulders, or if someone scores on you, the team can be like, oh, it's a team sport, but no matter what, I played goalie for a little bit for like a year in soccer. And like, I just remember feeling like, well, that's my fault. So
Mhm.
was there a moment that you went through maybe when you were younger and then as you grew up, you're like, okay, this is kind of leading me into wanting to bring awareness to the mental side of sport?
Yeah, it was all it was always there. I mean,
Yeah.
pressure is always there. Like how you frame it or reframe it,
Yeah.
or whether you choose to see it as pressure or see it as an opportunity or see solutions. That's the power of shifting. Being able to adopt different perspectives. It's very tough in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Awareness is key. But yeah, as I went through, and yeah, there was just a lack of support in that area, and it's just I think the natural evolution of how where we've got to this point in sports. It has slowly come along and started to kind of carve out its own niche in the bigger picture.
Yeah, for sure. So now let's dive into the magazine. So the viewers have heard us mention it. So if I ask you what is Mentor Magazine, how would you explain it?
Yeah, the Mentor magazine is a digital magazine focused on mental performance. I guess yeah, broadly defined kind of thing. It's got so yeah, digital magazine, mental performance focused. Each issue talks about a specific topic, and there's a few feature articles in that. And then we get into literature reviews and game tapes. We get into all kinds of fun stuff in the
That's
magazine.
actually
But it is a digital resource support that parents, athletes, coaches can utilize and to grow their knowledge base and to know that they can trust the information and the content that they're consuming.
for sure.
Yeah.
So how does it work? Like, is it subscription
Yeah.
based? Like, how do let's say a viewer, if they're interested in becoming part of like the Mentor Magazine group, how would that work?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways. So just from our going to our website to the mentormagazine.ca, there's you can click subscribe there, and then we have the magazine housed in Substack. That's where the posts and that's where everything gets sent out. So it's subscription based through Substack. I think we have three tiers: $6.75 for a month, $53.95 for the full year for
Wow.
6 issues,
Yeah.
and all the other free stuff that comes out through the Substack post. And then we have a founders tier, which is $160 for the year. But I've also in that created a few manuals. So there's a coach's season planning manual. They
Wow.
can go do that where they can step by step process on how you can help create a team identity and a vision, and then a step by step plan on how to do that from outcome goals right down through to process day to day habits.
Wow.
I've also kind of streamlined the long term our yearly athlete training program, YTPs, yearly training programs. There's a mental performance component in that for your macros, your macro
Yeah.
cycles, and then all of those that it can get quite complicated. So I've kind of teased out a mental performance example through that, so that people could follow along and create their own if they wanted to.
Yeah, which is amazing. So it's not only targeting athletes, it's basically if you're involved in sport in any which way, you even mentioned
Performance in any
coaches.
which way.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
performance, it's for you.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So what are like the key differentiators between the Mentor magazine and maybe other sport publications that are out there?
Yeah, well, there's not too many there's many sport
Right.
publications, but there's only a very small handful like focused directly on mental performance and integrating the mental performance skills into our day-to-day habits and routines. So what we really focus on is quick, informative content with practical instructions on how to do these activities.
Yeah.
So anybody could pick it up at any page. They'd be able to I can do that. I could integrate that into my program or give that a try. Every issue is set up that we talk about what is the main topic, why it's important, and then how we can improve on it. So that's the kind of like the three-pronged approach to every issue or the goal of every issue.
I like that because you also simplify it. It's obviously something that could be a very complex topic if it's not explained properly, especially through word. That's not a video that someone's explaining to. So that's amazing for like you and your team for actually pushing this out. Like on personal experience, I know like when I was playing growing up, when I went to university to play, they actually had a therapist that was free of charge that you can go talk to. And it was my first time in all my years playing actually being able to speak to someone and feeling heard without feeling like, wait, am I going like crazy for having these thoughts or pressures? So yeah, like that's gonna definitely, I think, change the game when it comes to the athletic side of, your well-being and your mental wellness. What are some of like teams or like associations that have so far used the Mentor magazine that you've seen success with?
Well, as it's so new, we've really just started this calendar year. We have the issue 00 is it's a free issue. You can get it off the website as well. It's just introduction to mental performance and just kind of the benefits of mental performance, where you can go to find credible information. So also through the Canadian Sports Psychology Association and the Association for Applied Sports Psychology, those are our governing bodies. We have directories of certified CMPCs and MPCs that are in training, and that you can, if it's a registry, you can reach out to them, and if they're in your area, they're all over North America, kind of thing. So, and not a lot of people know about that. So it's just like, hey, like this can just be the snowflake on the tip of the iceberg, on your journey to mental performance. Like,
For sure.
it doesn't have to be the Mentor magazine, but here's, if you want to find something that fits you better, then there's lots of resources.
For sure, for sure.
And this is a good place to go start, kind of thing. So
yeah. Well, that's amazing that it's also part of that, right? Because it gives, like you said, if it's not the magazine, well, you still have the resources, which in that you're still bringing awareness to the mental wellness of an athlete, whether it's through the magazine or not. So yeah, that's really cool. That's amazing. The issue that just got released is on self-esteem.
Yes.
So first, why self-esteem? Like, why was that a topic?
Well, so the first year the big vision is I have right now a 5-volume kind of
Cool
anthology almost, and it's for each of those years 6 issues. And so the first year I've set it up this year to it's called like building the foundation is the theme. So we have the introduction to mental performance, we have the confidence issue, the accountability issue, the consistency issue, the time management issue, self-esteem issue, and then the 6th issue later this year is the attitudes issue. So it's just kind of just bigger concepts, kind of building the foundation of mental performance. And then the next year in 2026, we're going to be diving into enhancing performance. And then years 4 and 5, it's kind of like the identity, legacy, transition piece kind of thing. So it's kind of like a big picture. It's kind of like a life cycle of a athletic career almost.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's especially if someone taps into it now, everyone should tap into it now. They get to go on that journey with you, which is amazing because they also get to grow with you and be with you from the start. So all those, topics for each issue, how do you come about, figuring those out? Obviously you were an athlete, and even me hearing some of them, like, hey, that makes sense. But do you have a process that kind of you mapped out to get to that 5 series?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go big and then get a bit more detail. Like in the third year, we're going to get into more of the specific traditional mental skills, like your imagery, your self-talk.
Wow,
that kind of get down to drill down on some of those. But I wanted to kind of set a foundation, set a nice strong foundation, talking about attitudes and self-esteem, because they're the big things. Like your self-esteem is your self-worth.
Yeah,
kind of thing, right? So it's in the magazine, one of the articles we talk about. Just differentiating between self-esteem and confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
They are related, very closely related, but still 2 different things. And one way that I like to kind of illustrate it or visualize it is that imagine you're a house.
Yep.
Your self-esteem is your foundation. Your confidence is the furniture. You have to have a strong foundation or everything else is going to be off balance.
Yeah. Wow, I really like that. That's a great analogy, because I'm one that I would get those mixed up. So if I wasn't confident, I'd be like, oh, I have a low self-esteem, and kind of bounce them off each other.
You can have good self-esteem, but you could be in a particular event or a particular part of your area of your performance, you might not feel as confident in that particular skill.
Yeah.
My layup is better than my free throw, kind of thing, or vice versa,
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So so the self-esteem is more the global kind of sense of self-worth as you as a human being and individual.
Yeah. And why do you think that coaches and athletes typically mix the 2 up?
Well, it's easy. Yeah. And we quickly go to confidence, right? And when we're talking about confidence, like it's in specific areas, moments. It's Bandura refers to it as self-efficacy, right? right? I'm confident in my ability to talk about mental performance, but I couldn't do that with like an introduction to calculus.
Got it.
I had
Yeah.
no confidence in my abilities to do that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I'm fairly confident in the knowledge and experience over 20 years of mental performance
For sure,
kind of
yeah.
thing. So it's like, it's that in the situation specific, whereas your self-esteem is your overall self-worth, regardless of whether you made a mistake or you didn't get the outcome that you wanted or something like that. It's not a direct kind of hit on you as your self-worth as a person.
Yeah. Okay, so then let's say I have a lot of confidence in my skills. Let's say as a soccer player, okay, I have a great shot. I'm confident in that. Or I'm confident in doing many things on the field. But I have a low self-esteem, and I'm trying to figure out now which one is it that I need to work on. How would that show in my performance? Like what is a sign to me that it's like, wait, it's not your confidence, it is your self-esteem, or vice versa.
Yeah. So in the issue, we have an article. It's called the silent struggle.
Yeah.
Recognizing and supporting athletes that may display lower self-esteem, and it's in these the awareness and kind of differentiating between the two is helpful, and then with the self-esteem, it's positive feedback, focusing on process, looking for maybe breaking down a bigger goal into smaller, more achievable chunks. We want to boost our self-esteem overall. But it's one of those kind of like longer everyday type things. So it's communication. It's also, if you're feeling off and you're not sure, talking to your coach or your manager or your parents, and seeking some support and guidance. And it's tough going in all the time feeling like it's not, no matter what you do, it might not, probably won't work or be good enough for those types of things. So those are the low self-esteem. We can potentially fall into like the learned helplessness, and we can fall into the self-handicapping, and like we might already have like built-in excuses for if things don't go wrong. Like if I have a big exam tomorrow, and it's like I've already you're talking with your friends or your peers, and it's like I had to work so late last night, I didn't get enough sleep, I didn't get a chance to study, this is going to go so bad. So you've already built it in so that if it does go bad,
you're covered.
I'm covered, right? So you might tend to see some more of that type of those types of things, and then just the general, it's kind of like no matter what I do, I don't believe that my actions are going to have an impact on the outcome kind of thing. It's more of that locus of control is more on the external than the internal.
Yeah, I know a lot. Like I do that too sometimes, where I feel like things aren't going to go well, or like showing up to a game, and I'll be like, oh, I might play bad today because I didn't sleep well last night, or it's like you're trying to cover up a mistake that didn't even happen yet.
That's right, and you spent so much time and energy doing that.
Yeah, it's like, and you're trying so hard, and meanwhile, half the time, like people aren't even worried about what's going to happen. You just mentally feel like you need to go out of your way to explain what might transpire.
Right. Yeah, and I find that sometimes we're already trying to somewhat apologize for feeling guilty about setting it up that way.
Yeah, and I feel like especially like in sports, right? Because it's a team sport, so you play a pivotal role in the team, whatever that is. So if you feel like you're about to let someone down in some way, shape, or form, or your team down, again, mentally, it's this pressure of like, well, let me cover up for it, or let me explain why this might happen, so no one can get mad at me if it happens. Yeah, that's
we spend a lot of our time.
Yeah,
doing that.
That's a big thing.
Yeah,
what's one of the biggest misconceptions you think athletes have about confidence?
Well, confidence is I guess there's kind of like a range almost, right?
Yeah.
Well, to me, anyways, it's like there's the confidence, and then there's cocky, and then there's unconfident, not confident, no belief in my ability to be successful right here. So sometimes it gets self-esteem, confidence get painted with the same brush. We sometimes when we're talking about confidence, we might actually be referring to self-esteem or vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of educate yourself, be aware, know what these psychological, cognitive phenomena are, and why we might do it. You know, the factors that play into it in the performance and competitive realm. But so I don't know what I was going to say after that.
That's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay.
But yeah, it's just that I think they sometimes get misconstrued,
Yeah.
and it's not wrong. It's just
No, I feel like anything in life, when two things can be so similar, it's really up to the person's like perception or how much knowledge they have.
Yep.
And that kind of sways what they think a certain situation may be, right? Okay, so my question, because when I first heard the name of the magazine, I was like, that's genius. How did you come up with the name of the magazine?
Yeah. Well, the mentor itself is this is where I weave in kind of like my affinity for fantasy and Lord of the Rings and the Hero with 1,000 Faces and Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung, like in the Jungian psychology. The mentor is a role, one of the archetype roles that we may adopt, and I always liked the hero's journey. And I think of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, any of those types of things, where always along the way, when you think you don't have anything left or you can't go anymore, there's always something. Whenever you think it's lost, it's just there's the timing. It appears. It's right when the student is ready, the mentor will appear, kind of thing, right? It's now I'm not calling myself the mentor. The magazine is the mentor, and I do mentorship. I do hold a mentorship role for provisional CMPCs as well for their field hours. They have, we have to, in order to get our certification, we have to, and part of our application package, have to have 400 supervised hours in the field. Yeah. So I enjoy working and providing that support to the up and coming CMPCs. But I wanted to weave in. The mentor is it's a part of everyone's journey. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what role you have, what path you're on, the journey. There's all we can't do it alone, and we do need support, and sometimes it arrives when we least expect it. And I just always like the concept of the idea of the mentor. That figure. I think of the movies. I think of like Gandalf, and you think Obi-Wan Kenobi and all Yoda and all that kind of stuff. I like that stuff, and it works well within mental performance. There's so many great similarities with that. So I wanted to kind of evoke that. The values kind of come out of that as well: compassion, balance, wisdom, courage, loyalty. All of those are part of it. But it's a helping, supportive, non-judgmental, non-pushy companion.
For sure, especially because it's a magazine, right? So you can pick it up and read it whenever you like. It's not, for example, like a course someone can sell you where you feel like, well, there's sections you have to complete and tests and exams to learn. No, this is on my time. When I feel like I want to pick it up, I can. So I think even just having that leniency is amazing. Obviously, majority of athletes are usually busy because between being an athlete, they have everything else they're dealing with. So I think even between the name and the concept, what it stands for, is definitely going to be a massive change in the athletic world for sure. Have you had a mentor growing up that sticks out to you?
Oh yeah, many. Wendy Jerome is one of my big mentors. She started the program at Laurentian that I went through with my undergrad. Who else? Bob Copeland is a great mentor. He was the former athletic director at the University of Waterloo when I was doing my PhD. My supervisors were all great mentors. I've had really good mentors throughout my life and my career that the timing seemed fitting and right. And able to learn those lessons and be given the patience, and encouragement. And sometimes it was, you needed a kick in the butt. Other times I was leading it, and we got it. Come on, guys, let's catch up, kind of thing. So it's, So I've had from hockey coaches, friends, right? There's many lessons that I've gathered over the year. Well, I got my duotang over here with quotes from every. I was like, there's always going to be a quote that fits the mood, kind of thing. But and the magazine is also part of kind of highlighting and showcasing the achievements of others as well.
For sure.
So mentioned that I am doing some mentoring and supervising, and there's opportunity for to contribute something to the magazine.
Yeah.
I've already had a colleague and a friend and one of my mentees provide articles for the magazine, right? So
That's
it's
so cool.
like the section in the magazine is called Ask the Expert, where anybody, you could just email us at info@thementormagazine.ca and ask us a question, and somebody's going to answer it. It's going to be in the next issue, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, we're here to help. We're here to support, and I wanted the magazine to be something that can highlight and showcase many people and the good work that's happening.
For sure. And I think that's amazing because you kind of involving, in a way, your mentors into the Mentor magazine. And like you had mentioned earlier, a mentor kind of always comes across your path, like right when you need it. And typically you ask someone, oh, have you had a mentor growing up or in your career? A lot of times people that I've asked will give me one answer. And you're the first person that's given me multiple. And I love that because at different points in your life, you come across different people who help you with different things. A hockey coach may have been perfect at that time in your life. 10 years later, now it's someone at a school you're at or a professor.
Business or whatever,
Exactly.
right? Or family or anything, right? Like I think it's important to build a team of trusted advisors and mentors. And it's not that you go to seek permission.
Right.
You go to seek counsel.
Yeah.
Right? You're not asking you're not asking, is this okay or is that okay? It's what would you do in this situation, or how, and then debrief. That's huge. Got to debrief and clear the dust, so to speak. But yeah, many mentors learn many different things, many different lessons in situational things on how to handle various conflicts and stuff like that. So I've taken lots of notes on observational notes on those things. But I try to emulate the positive things that I've experienced through my exchanges with my mentors.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not to make things easier for the next generation, so to speak. It's to make things smoother.
For sure. Well, they'll feel heard too, right? Because you're, like we had mentioned, I feel like, or everyone I feel like that's an athlete that hears this can resonate with the fact that there is that gap when it comes to the mental side of an athlete. And what you're doing may not make it easier, but it makes it efficient in the sense where now I feel heard. So even if it's me just picking up that magazine, talking to nobody else and just feeling like, wow. It's like when you read a good book and you're like, you get it. It's the same thing. And that's so big in sports because that moment, even just reading a paragraph or a page can maybe shift my perspective now the next time I step on the field. So that's big credit to you guys. What piece of advice would you give someone whose self-esteem has taken a hit and they kind of want to bounce back from it?
Sure. Well, it's self-esteem is an interesting one because, well, in a sense that how you talk to yourself, just plain and simple, how you talk to yourself, and the words that you say to yourself matter because the inner self, our inner mind, doesn't know true from false. It can't distinguish between true or false, and it will accept any words without judgment. So imagine just the things that we say to ourselves, and the way we say it to ourselves is. Yeah, so it's tough, but just in the way we speak to ourselves is very, very important, and the kindness and compassion that we show ourselves. It's patience. Give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Right, like everyone's dealing with a lot of stuff, and we can't. There's never enough time or resources or capacity, but it's repetition, reframing. Catching those thoughts or those conversations in your mind, and once you become aware of it, then that's your single greatest defense right there. It's like, I can maybe separate myself from that thought, and then continue on doing what I'm doing, and then also fostering and instilling that belief that what we are doing is we're going to get the objective, or at least somewhat close to it, kind of thing. We have to believe that trust the process in that. And the self-esteem, it's how you talk to yourself, like how you have to be your biggest cheerleader. It's or at least be kind to yourself. You make a mistake, you're not calling yourself dumbass or anything like that. It's think like a scientist in a sense. That experiment didn't work. what do scientists do? Well, trial 2, trial 3, trial 4 till we figure it out, kind of thing. So it's kind of how I frame mistakes as well. Oh, that recipe didn't work, so
I like that.
burnt that one, so let's try it again.
Yeah. No, I like that though. That's like an amazing way to put it because it's true. When you look at a scientist, your expectation is already if they mess up, oh, they're just going to try again. So why do we look at ourselves so differently when it should be aligned with that? That's a really good analogy.
And just again from the conversation I had on Monday with Dr. Botterill, it's just the power of that perspective shift.
Yeah.
When you do it, it does there's a sensation and feelings there that come with it, and
sure.
you do feel like I can do this. It's like there's a visible weight that's been lifted off your shoulders, and a lot of the time it's just why are we not having fun?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like that fun aspect that we have when we're children gets lost, obviously, as we become adults because we put more pressure on ourselves. So we deal with more things. But that's why there's that saying, it's like, always remember you have an inner child because that's the person that wants that fun to still appear when you're older. Yeah, that's
the curiosity, see solutions, all of that. It's how we frame it, how we set it up, how we set up pressure, and how we can safeguard our self-esteem.
Yeah. And I feel like especially as athletes, like obviously you're in the moment on a field, on a court, on the ice, and you're not thinking to yourself like, oh, I missed past the puck, they scored the goal. Oh, okay, I'll give myself another try. You're thinking, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? Oh, sorry, guys.
Yep.
It's an immediate, like, we bring ourselves from here to here in seconds. And then if you don't have a good coach and your coach is yelling at you too, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for sure.
Oh, especially with the kids and then the adolescent age group too. Like their brains are developing so fast and so rapidly that it's impossible to keep it all contained.
For sure. And I feel like we sometimes forget, like you said, we don't know true from false. We give it that meaning and that belief in our head. So forgetting that and just believing everything that's said or every thought that kind of crosses through our mind can end up wrong in a lot of situations for you because now if I say I'm an idiot and I believe it 100%, just that feeling energetically, I can already feel like, oh, okay. But it's like, hey, you know what? I got this. Okay, let's keep going. Obviously easier said than done. But
yeah, you're gonna get mad. You're gonna have that initial reaction. You're gonna feel the embarrassment and whatever, like you're gonna swear or whatever, or do something to that cathartic whatever.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's like, okay, that's over. That's done.
Yeah.
We still have stuff to do.
Yeah.
Right. And we can come back to this and decipher it, but now's not the time. I think there's an aspect of timing when certain things are, said and done, kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it can be, frustrating.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. When you're in that moment. So it's, and it's tough. And then afterwards once all emotions have kind of cooled off and you start to reflect on it and debrief it, and then you're like, yeah, I could have handled that a little bit better, or maybe I didn't need to, do it that way, or I could find another way to, to get the job done, kind of thing. But that also takes time, patience, and wisdom. That is one thing that can't be rushed. You have to kind of have some of these mistakes. Well, you do. You have to have a lot of make the mistakes and know what that feels like. What it doesn't. How you don't want it to impact your performance. But you're gonna have more mistakes than good things.
For sure. We only learn from failures, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the big vision for Mentor Magazine? Like, where do you see it go? Let's take us 10 years down the road.
10 years, okay. Well, I see. Well, the magazine, the issues just keep coming out because there's never going to be like a lack of content,
right? Of course.
for mental performance and sports psychology. I see the community growing. I see perhaps doing something similar to this. With podcasts, I just really want to grow the community and that people know that the content that they're consuming is credible and that they can trust it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then anything else that comes along with that, I want partnerships would be great. I'd like to connect with associations or sport governing bodies or school boards to talk about how we could integrate the magazine into their associations, with some return on investment and some value propositions and all kinds of stuff. I've got some great ideas. And I'm looking forward to getting kind of into that next scale, because this is it was built small at the start to be scalable
For sure. Yeah.
at the back end kind of thing. So that's yeah. So hopefully we'll get some of those get some of those things in the works.
For sure. I think you will. Like, I don't, from my knowledge, I don't think that there's really anything as well done as this for what you're targeting out there right now, especially from an athlete perspective. Now, when it comes to like, just say mental wellness of an athlete overall, do you think that a coach plays a certain part when it comes to educating their team on that stuff or creating, let's say, a safe space for them to speak about that stuff? Like, is there any suggestions you would give to any coaches watching?
Yeah, well, I think it's important. I think for coaches and management, the one thing that you want to try and create is a space for psychological safety amongst your group, that you can be forthcoming and you don't feel like you're being silenced or quieted down or pushed out or anything. I think that is a huge piece to create that that psychological safety norm for your group. We're human beings.
Yeah.
And athletes, they're ordinary people. They're doing extraordinary things.
I like that. I love that
Well,
saying.
I snagged that from Cal Botterill as well. It's right. The perception matters, emotion matters. These things matter. So we can't really separate it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's something that coaches, we need to be mindful of. I think.
Yeah.
And of course, you coach your athletes, you care about your athletes and their well-being. If they're not performing or if they're not functioning up to their level, and then of course you're going to be concerned and worried, and you're going to want to be, look into being able to provide those supports. So I think it's something that we shouldn't feel, we shouldn't shy away from talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? It's like, well, some coaches are like, oh, I don't want to get mixed up in the mental stuff. I don't want to open up. It's showing concern and compassion for somebody is not sitting down and drilling in a psychoanalytic session.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I think it's human first. That's the kind of the philosophy I come from. It's service, service focused support. So being able to talk about it, being able to even approach the subject, the conversation.
Yeah.
And various ways to do it. And that comes in again the unique kind of things that play in each group, kind of thing.
Right.
There's different ways of communication. There's the different processes for each group. So so with that, is important. It's the big thing.
Yeah.
Everybody comes. It's like if you're not functioning, if you're not feeling yourself, you're not functioning well. You can't. If you can't be good for yourself, you can't be good for anyone else.
100%. Yeah.
In that sense. So, being able to talk about it, making it a regular thing.
Yeah.
There's ways that, you don't have to do it every practice or every game. Well, you have your game time, like that's
Right.
what you do, your pregame, like that, but like practices, there can be team debriefs at the start of practice, or, there's various things that we can do, or even if it's just, what's one thing I'm focusing on, technical or skill wise tonight, and you share it with the group, or it's you debrief after practices, or you introduce and bring in other voices that align with your values and the identity of the team. And we have to come from the mindset that we have to take care of ourselves first so we can be better for others.
For sure.
Kind of thing. And I wouldn't say like it's part of the coach's responsibility. It's
Right.
not like that falls under, to me, like the care and concern for the human being.
Yeah. And would you say that there's like a certain age group or range that these conversations should start to happen, or for as young as any age?
Well, I think for super young, like with the developmental brain,
Right. Yeah.
at certain ages, there's just certain things that are not gonna register,
Right.
fly, like certain abstract concepts that aren't
Yeah.
going to, we have to go through concrete operational thought before we get to abstract operational thought, which usually comes out around 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
A little earlier for females, according to the literature.
Yeah.
That's Piaget's cognitive developmental model. So I guess, the age around, the 14, 15,
Yeah.
when, to start talking, introducing some of these bigger concepts. But for the younger kids, it's fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you work hard? Did you enjoy it? What was great? It's, and providing that support, that, and just, and setting up the environment so they can thrive.
Yeah. And I feel like even with younger kids, like even if it's not through, let's say, more deep level conversations, it's like you said, did you have fun? Did you have a good time? Obviously, everybody wants to win, but even if there's a loss, like, okay, did you still have fun when you went out there? Like,
Oh, kids are
they're
great sometimes. It's like, oh,
small.
the score, oh, we lost. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, okay. Like, I got to play with my friends.
We're getting
though.
ice cream, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or always like the after game snacks. It's like stuff like that that keeps the younger age kids to keep going, or like, the game finishes, you lose, all the parents are clapping and you feel like, okay, I'm loved still. We're good. No one hates me for losing.
Yep.
It's more when we get older where we start to have those.
We started
intense
attaching these
thoughts.
things to expectations, and when
Yeah.
we don't meet the expectations, that's when our self-worth starts to take those hits.
Yeah.
And if after repeated, say, failures or not meeting the mark, or maybe it's the expectations aren't realistic, and we're just, we don't know that yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of thing. But it's where we repeatedly fall short of those expectations, and we higher likelihood of kind of adopting that more learned helpless kind of mindset towards the activity kind of thing. It doesn't matter how hard I try or what I do or how much effort, it's not going to matter in the end.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
What kind of was your fuel to start to study like sports psychology at such a deep level outside of being an athlete? Like, was there a pivotal point in your life that you're like, you know what, there's this gap, I'm going to run with it and like try to dig this deeper?
Yeah, I always had a feeling there was something else, like growing up watching, Curtis Joseph and Andy Moe, all the goalies, and Mike Richter and all those guys. You're watching them, and then you watch maybe OHL, you watch some other stuff, and you're watching the goalies, and you're looking at it, and you're like, they're good, but I was like, there's something missing.
Yeah.
And I was just always curious about that, like how you could play one game and crap the next, and or crap, whatever, depending on what you're measuring. But I always thought it was just fascinating.
Yeah.
To me, in these moments, in these pressure-filled moments, like
True.
I always wanted to be in them.
Really?
Even though I was, crapping my pants. That's what I was here for. That's what we're here for.
That's true. Well, because obviously if you're in a pressure-filled, let's say, game, it's because you made it to a certain point. So it means it's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just, whether it was playing wrestling or rugby or whatever, it was like, all right, we're here. Let's
get it done.
We're here to do this. Why aren't we doing it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's like, why are we holding back? We don't need to. So it's, I was just always curious about that. And I always knew that there was something missing from my own game.
Right.
But then I wasn't sure how to appropriately incorporate it.
Yeah.
You hear news, you read a newspaper article, or an interview between periods or something like that, talk about, do visualization, do this, which is great.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, where do I find the books on this,
Yeah,
the literature,
true.
and this and that, and like, who would I actually talk to about this kind of thing? In my competitive days, and out of high school and into university, the sports psychology program presented itself, and I was like, oh, that's what's happening.
It's funny because I feel like any athlete, when there's a program that comes about, like when I was studying, there was no like sport and business. That wasn't a thing. But my final year, they came out with sport and business. I went to Ryerson or TMU.
Yep.
And I thought it was so cool, and I was so upset that like I couldn't dive into it. And now I know so many people that are in it. And I think it's because there's that need, like you said, when you played or when you watched, you felt like there was something missing. And I feel like every athlete feels that to a certain extent about some point of their game, or whether it's the mental side or the physical side. So hearing like sports psychology or sport business, and it just came about wanting to study it, I feel like is definitely a common thing for athletes. And I do feel that it's very much needed, because obviously athletes are living a different life in the sense where their bodies are under more pressure, their minds are under more pressure. So the more people we have that go into these fields and study and take a deep dive and do the research to then educate and bring these conversations about, like yourself, is amazing. And like we need more of that for sure. What is your like, what would your advice be to someone that wants to get into sports psychology? Twofold question. One is, I don't know, obviously, like, I'm not sure either if like there's other schools that offer it outside Laurentian, but like, what advice would you give them in general? And then the second piece is there anything you studied in theory that was different when you started to work with athletes?
I'll answer the second question first.
All right.
Yeah, all the time. Like, research is great. I love research.
Yeah.
I love conducting research. We're going to a conference, and a couple of colleagues, we've got some posters that we're presenting at the ASP conference, annual conference in Montreal next month. The colleagues that we've created these posters are both registered social workers. So
Oh, cool.
and there's really been a really interesting like the social workers in sport and what they can bring to the table as well, which is quite fascinating. So we have like a family lens. We're getting into family theory and some other things like that. But research. We need the research to be informed. We need the research so we can keep things somewhat systematic and reliable and valid, and the theories and the concepts and the results that are coming out of it, like theories and concepts are tools that we use. Like you can use think of one theory like a hammer, another one like a screwdriver, right? There's many different theories to explain what we're like the social phenomena or what we're experiencing, but research would be the ideal, and then we try it in the field.
Right.
It's like you try to keep it the structure the same, but you gotta be able to pivot and to apply it efficiently and creatively. Like research is like like the zoo,
Right.
and in the field's like the jungle.
Yeah.
Where
That's a really good analogy. That's really good.
It's one needs the other.
Yep.
And we know we have to be informed in what we're doing and being able to make ethical decisions and proper practice and decisions. So, but it can be tough because trying to replicate or something in the field is like, this group, it might work for this group, but it doesn't work for this group.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what are we gonna modify? Right? Yeah, I tried this with this group last year, and we're gonna build on it. But then, that's not the focus or not what the team needs or team wants anymore. So, just adjusting on the fly kind of thing with that. But it's pretty interesting. It can be quite eye opening
For sure.
Like, that according to the literature, it says this.
Yeah.
One of these things not like the other.
Something's up.
So kind of we're trying to kind of look beneath the surface of that, to look beneath the surface of what we're seeing on the presently, and then you look at the other factors that might be unseen that are contributing to this underperformance or great performance or something.
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
So, for the first question, to get into so in Ontario, anyways, we have to be very careful. We're not supposed to use the term sports psychology because psychology in Ontario is protected term under the Ontario's Registered Health Professions Act. So your physios, all of those other professional fields, mental performance consultants aren't there yet.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing. So, and because psychology is a protected term, by extension, sports psychology is a protected term. So it's outside of academia and outside campuses. You're really not in Ontario. You're really not supposed to use the term sports psychologist, or you're not. No one's supposed to refer to themselves as a sports psychologist unless you're a psychologist, kind of thing, right? Licensed. So there's even in just the names. There's some misrepresentation as well, right? So, and that's why with the associations, the Canadian one and the American one, we have a directory, so you can look up and because we're insured as well, right? Like you want to work with someone that's insured. You want to work with somebody that has the training and the certification,
security
kind of thing. It's and I'm not discounting the lived experiences whatsoever, but they're only your lived experiences.
Facts,
kind of thing, right? So, if you haven't broadened your knowledge base, then you're really only teaching out of that experience, kind of thing, or mentoring out of that experience, which is good in and of itself, but it's so just knowing that you have you're vetted, you're insured, you're doing things properly. If so it's just other layers of protection for the public,
For sure.
kind of thing. So, so to get into sports or the field of sports psychology, there's the program at Laurentian. You do an undergrad in kinesiology. You take your sports psych courses. You need a master's degree, and there's a number of programs you can get your do your master's at. There's not like one specific the program at University of Ottawa comes to mind because it's set up for the CMPC training. But I did my master's at Windsor. There's many other. Then from that you need to have your supervised hours and align with an approved mentor. And then, of course, there's the knowledge areas for the educational requirements. So that's where you got to submit your transcripts and make sure you got, your three graduate level sports psych classes, your statistics, your ethics, your diversity and inclusion. There's just the that you have to show you've had a course at this level on this kind of thing. So all of that, and then so. Getting into it, if you want to start, I would go to the CSPA. I would go or Canadian Sports Psychology Association, the Association for Applied Sports Psychology, and on both of those websites, they have a dedicated space for how to become a CMPC.
Gotcha.
And there's a whole handbook that you can download that goes through everything.
Oh, that's convenient too. It helps you out. Well, you heard I have a lot of athletes that follow me and like coaches, so you guys heard that here. You know what to do. So my next question for you is, where do you kind of see, how do you see things evolving when it comes to, the mental wellness side of sport, like throughout the next decade in general?
Yeah, I think it's going to be continue to be a big focus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to be a big focus. We're human beings. We're fundamentally interdisciplinary.
Yeah, 100%.
It takes a holistic approach.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to continue to see mental performance supports and roles more formally in athletic departments, high schools. Professional teams already employ them. Most of them do anyway. So I think we're going to be seeing more in the field, more in other areas as well. So mental performance is been utilized, successfully utilized in business, in tactical, police, military, there's medicine, doctors. So there's so many other areas of application that we can utilize mental performance for. So I see it also expanding into some of these other markets or other sectors.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then where do you see the Mentor magazine playing a role in that shift?
Yeah. For the magazine, I would like it to kind of be the resource that like the starting point. Like if you want to know something about mental performance, instead of Google it, mentor it or something like that. Right?
No, yeah, I like that
kind of thing. So that's where eventually to have it be on that large of a scale. But I see it again existing and living as a resource, a support, something that you can go back to, and that that you're going to be able to pick something out and implement it. So hopefully we see it in print as well. We're working on print. That's a whole other ball game, but I'd like to see it. Doesn't need to be in magazine stands, but I'd like to have it at sport facilities and things like that.
For sure.
If people want to subscribe to print, we can figure out how to make that happen as well. But and then perhaps connecting internationally.
Yeah.
Hopefully just to grow the reach. Every athlete everywhere. I don't think that cost should be the deciding factor when it comes to access to mental performance. So for the now we're still running a business and there are there's a subscription for the year, but at $53.95 plus tax for the year to work on support and enrich your mental performance. Put that in perspective to all of the other stuff we might buy for our performance.
Or even just if you go to, let's say, therapy, what that costs you per session, depending how often you go.
Yeah. And this isn't by any means to replace any type of therapy or support or anything like that. This is just a resource. It could be a go-between kind of thing as well. So I see it being multifunctional.
For sure, and it's also just not in replacement, but it's a faster resource in the moment. You know, like even if, let's say you do go to therapy and you have sessions coming up, well, you see your therapist per appointment. It's like seeing a doctor. It's on appointment. So this is like you're in between. It's like when I'm not feeling good, people will Google symptoms.
Yep.
Kind of that, where it's like, okay, if I know it's sports related and it's coming from like the mental side of things, like, okay, I'll just pull up the magazine issue, the one that I had on confidence, or the one that I had on self-esteem, or the one that I had on accountability, whatever it is. And obviously the more that'll come out, people are going to grow with that. I think it's an amazing,
huge repository, and then at the end of it, well, with the vision right now, just a huge anthology of mental performance resources.
That's really neat. So let's say someone taps into this 3 years from now. So you already now are 3 years in of all these issues going out. They will obviously have the ability to go back to the first issue released and start from there, or it starts at that 3 year point.
It would start at that. For right now, it's where you kind of subscribe is where you start.
Okay,
and now
gotcha.
There'll
It's
be
not
like
like
the back issues will be available, but
Got it,
it's just-
okay.
So like say you don't start in January, you start in March.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be next March. You'll still get 6 issues, but it might not be like all of number 1, all of volume 1, all of volume 2.
Got it.
But the issues that have passed will be available.
Yes, yeah, okay, sorry.
So
You'll have
you'll have the ability to get them.
Yeah,
Still.
just a different way, not through the. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What's one piece of advice that, from what you know now in your research, that you'd give to your younger athlete self?
Chill, man.
Yeah,
Chill.
I like that.
No,
I like that.
I was always wound up. Sometimes getting a goal scored on me, taking it personal and stuff like that. I was high strung, too high strung for hockey anyways, which is ironic because I was, a goalie, but I was very competitive in that. But then when I go and play other sports, it was different, like wrestling and rugby. It was intense, but it was like, that's exactly where my expectations weren't as high in that, because I didn't really probably see myself as a wrestler or as a
Right.
I saw myself as a hockey player. So,
Yeah.
it's all plays into it. But chill, slow down, enjoy this moment, because these are like this is the time that you want more of, kind of thing. So it's focus on what you can control, which is usually your thoughts. And put in your best effort. Enjoy this, because it's not going to last for a long. It's not going to last forever. And if you focus on the controllables, enjoying it, and doing your best, the outcome takes care of itself.
Yep. I resonate with that.
Always
I'd
trying to
probably
control
say
the
same
outcome. I always thought the outcome
Yeah.
was controllable, and it's like, so I was very rigid in a lot of my mind. Like looking back, it's like, wow, okay, bud.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. But I think that's over time. That's what it is.
For sure. And I feel like even me now, if I see like younger athletes, let's say in soccer, and I see their reactions to things, and as an adult, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, just relax. Meanwhile, I'm like, at that age, I was doing the exact same thing. But like you said, you don't realize it in the moment. And it's those moments that fly by and you look back and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
Or you finish a training session or a game, and it's like you had one mistake, but you did 9 things great out of 10, and there's one thing that you goofed on, and that's what you're gonna get hung up on. Like, we can. Is it fixable? Great, then we'll fix it. If not, then
100%. And
kick some grass over that.
No, for real. And those are like those mindset shifts that all help build up, that true thought and that false thought. If you get hung up on that one mistake and then all of a sudden you start telling yourself you're a bad goalie, it's not true.
Not true
You're
at all.
just hung up on the one mistake. That's a big thing.
Like our mind, like our inner critic will take any
Yep.
piece of data and then just like catastrophize it to no end.
100%.
And we believe it.
Yeah.
Because, but again, it comes back in how you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the factor is what I tell people.
Yeah.
And I'll tell people too, like, if you close your eyes and tell yourself like, okay, like I love myself, or like I love you, you'll naturally feel nice. Tell yourself you hate yourself with your eyes closed. You will, if you're in tune enough, like you'll feel your body kind of drop. And I've seen people do that experiment and then go, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, so every time you're hard on yourself, that's what's happening. But the problem is in games and in moments, you're so riled up, you don't feel that. You're just like,
And you just think, well, just keep
Yeah.
pounding it, keep doing it, harder, faster. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well,
You're human,
yeah.
you're a body, like you have feelings. If listeners can take one thing away from this episode today, when it comes to either self-esteem or about the Mentor magazine or mental wellness in general, what would that be?
Well, Mentor Magazine is really excited about what we're doing. It's been a great project. It's been number of years in the making. And
Yeah.
it's over the last couple of years. It's just finally figured out what it's going to look like and what it's going to be. So, know that the Mentor Magazine's out there. You can find it on Substack website. It's there. It's your mental performance companion at your fingertips. So that's what I want people to remember for the magazine. For mental wellness and well-being, try and establish a routine. All right, at least a morning routine, something. I know it's ironic that we have a digital magazine, and I, on the other hand, tell my clients and people I work with to put your phones down. Yeah, it's a resource at your fingertips, mental performance companion at your fingertips for your mental health and well-being. Yeah, routine. Get up and move in the morning, even if it's a 5 minutes walk, even if it's a little stretch, or do some box breathing in the morning too. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Hydration, staying hydrated. Letting yourself pause when something arises. Try to just pump the brakes.
Yeah.
I just finished rereading, probably for the half dozenth time in my life, "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff for Men" by Dr. Richard Carlson.
Cool.
It's awesome. It's like 100 and some odd. It's like 2 or 3 page blurbs about just traffic or
Chilling
this or
out.
that. Just
Yeah.
chill. Like how to shift perspective, how to apply that here, how to not make it about yourself, and those types of things. So, for your mental wellness, try and establish a routine. You're not gonna be, and do your best to stick to it.
Yeah.
And if you have some off days, don't kick your own ass, right?
Yeah,
Be nice.
yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, things happen.
Yeah.
That popped up. That was unexpected. Inconvenience. It's, my dogs are great for me, for my
love
mental
that.
well-being.
Aw.
Yeah.
How
Pearl.
many do you have?
Well, we did have 2. We have 1 now, rescue greyhound. Yeah. Her name's Pearl May. So she's my best mental performance consultant.
Yeah.
All my dogs have been. That's a big outlet for me. But trying to get outside at least for 5 minutes. Lots of water, sleep.
Yeah.
We are so under recovered.
Yeah.
We're all running on fumes. Right? If we don't prioritize and schedule in our self-care, as silly as it sounds, it's not going to happen, and we're not going to be functioning on the level we want to.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start wondering why we're not meeting those expectations.
And then we're going to get hard on ourselves. It's the cycle.
Yeah.
It's the cycle.
Yeah. So, and that can be anything, whether it's, journaling or just napping or meditating or watching something funny or connecting with somebody or making something, right? Whether that's food or whatever. In those moments, be present in those moments.
Yeah. And then what would you say, like, when it comes to daily routine, is there one thing you found that's like really helped either yourself or people you've worked with that keeps them like on a positive note, let's say, throughout the day or starts the day well?
Yeah, a couple of things, like, again, the box breathing in the morning. I do that for the purpose of kind of priming myself not to fly off the handle at unexpected inconsistencies later in the day.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and so I do that every day. And at night before I go to bed, while I'm laying in bed, we'll go through a round of progressive muscle relaxation where I'll go through my body from head to toe and isometric contractions, tighten up various muscle groups, and then release them. So it'll give a full body relaxation. So I do those 2 things, morning and night.
Yeah.
Of course, the dog walks, and then also we'll say recently in the past 2 months. Yeah, I guess that's pretty recent. We've adopted altering our food intake. So my wife and I will do the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Right. We'll have our food window between 12, noon and 8.
Yeah.
And then it's water, coffee, tea outside of that. And after the first couple of days, it was like, okay, like this is this is going to work
Yeah.
for us.
For sure.
Right? It's not for everybody. And of course, you consult your physicians before doing anything, that you're unsure of. But yeah, so it's the little tweaks,
Yeah.
not the big, changes, big things. It's altering the daily routine.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, you just nailed it there, where when you say like, have a daily routine, they feel like they have to have 12 hours in a day planned
And
out.
check it off every single, it's so rigid.
Yeah. And then it's like when that doesn't happen, then they get hard on themselves. And then it's like a mental cycle where, like you said, it's the little things that matter. You brought up one really interesting point. So I'm going to ask you your opinion on this. There's a lot of hard workers in the world that will be like, I'll be like, well, when do you sleep? No, sleep's for when you're dead. Like I just keep going. Like, what's your opinion on that? Because I love sleep.
Yeah.
But some people are like, no, you can work more, you'll get better results. And I'm like, okay, but if I'm tired, how am I getting better results? It's kind of contradicting. I feel like our bodies are kind of made to rest. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. Well, I'd be curious as to what's pushing that mindset. Is it fear of failure? Is it whatever? Like why do we think that we don't need that? That we can just blow that off? We know throughout the history of humans that that it is important, vital. Like the ancient Greeks and Romans knew this.
Yes, for sure, 100%.
Like this is it's not new, right?
Yeah.
It's we've seemed to glorify sacrificing our well-being for these sometimes unattainable goals.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. And there's various pressures from just our society, the way things are, push, hustle, side hustle this, side hustle that. If you don't have, a job and 6 side hustles and you're not doing enough, while also, doing your family stuff and going to the gym 6 days a week, it's like, we've set ourselves up for failure in that sense. It's, you need sleep. Yeah. It's what your brain does. Your brain consolidates and collates everything from the day before or the day that happened. Wow. You need the sleep so that your body can reset itself. Yeah. Just all of your bodily functions. It's so imperative. So, and some people can go on, and sleep's individual as well. Some people can go on 4 hours, great. Some people need 12, right? So it's knowing what you need, and then doing that. Right? If you need 9 hours, you make sure you get your 9 hours. Some days are going to be off. You might, your alarm might not go off the next morning. You might not get to, but at least you still do the bare minimum of the process, even if you are crunched for time.
Right.
Still do it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is where it comes into, I don't feel like it.
Yes.
Our emotions drive our behavior.
Yes.
Right? Like, I don't feel like it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Well, most of us don't feel like gutting it out all the time.
It's true.
But we do it. But so it's so we just try to adhere to human beings. We thrive in structure and routine. Yeah. Uncertainty and variable, chaotic environment are two things that stress us out the most. Yeah. Just as human beings. So I try to, control my controllables in that. Yeah.
I heard that saying, actually, one of my guests on my podcast, when I first started, said it for the first time. And that has stayed with me for so long. Like it's imperative. It's in my head. Mm-hmm. Every time something goes wrong, I'm just like, hey, control the controllables. That wasn't uncontrollable. You can't control that. And you'll be shocked as to how much that saves you mentally. Just that one line, control the controllables, you will catch yourself immediately and be like, okay, just try to relax. I can't control it. Like it is what it is, So well.
Oh, it's great. Like first you save yourself.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Yeah. You save yourself a lot of energy.
A lot of energy. Yeah, and potential unintended consequences.
Yes, that's very true.
On the back end of it, right? Yeah, that's exactly it. Control. Yeah. Your controls, and sometimes it's only one thing.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
And it's recognizing that in the various situations that we find ourselves in. And also, we will kind of but we'll also find ourselves being more forgiving and compassionate as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's true. I had another one of my guests. He's a public speaker, and he talks a lot about what you say affects others. And his whole thing was like, assume positive intent when it comes to other people. So, someone cuts you off in traffic, maybe they're going to see their mom in a hospital. Someone's
maybe
late,
their kid's
maybe
sick.
or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I'm like, wow, if everyone thought that way, there would be way less aggression, violence, or anything really negative happening. But it's so hard to think that way because we have our own emotions. So I can tell myself now I'm in a good mood. Okay, I'll think positively. But then if I'm in a pissy mood and someone cuts me off, my immediate reaction may not be so much like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, digress, you know?
But then also too, give, you know, like maybe yell or honk the horn or whatever. Okay. You know, and then maybe you might feel bad about that afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you were stressed. Maybe you just got cut off and you're trying to, you know, get in another lane, or maybe, you know, you are late, or, you know, something, you know, came out of nowhere and you got an unexpected call or something like that. It's just like, oh yeah, we do make mistakes.
Yeah.
We do have, you know, a snap this or that. And doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means we had a unbecoming moment.
Yeah, no, but it's true. It's true. We're humans. Like you're allowed to make a mistake, and you just learn from the mistake and you move forward with it. But thank you so much for coming on.
I'm very appreciative to be here, and this was a great conversation. I had a lot of fun.
Yes, me too. You know the routine. Like, subscribe, share, do your thing. Also, I'm going to tag any which way you can reach the Mentor magazine or any of their links and handles in all the bios. Usual routine, guys. You already know. And if you watch this episode for the first time and you enjoyed it, please, please, please follow, share, like, subscribe, as well as to their pages as well. Show them love. Let's get this thing noticed and going. All you athletes out there, I know you resonated with this episode if you made it this far. And I love you all one more time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And catch you on the next episode.